So the pre-K for me, would that be a mandatory thing? Is that what they are suggesting, or would it be voluntary for the jurisdictions?
It would be voluntary. So there's no mandate to do more than provide access. So as a funding authority and as a school board, if you're required to provide access, you have the unknown in terms of who's going to avail themselves of that service, but you know there are going to be costs associated when they do. So if the legislation were to say we're going to increase eligibility for pre-K, right now it's 185% of the federal poverty level. If you increase that to 300%, you're going to have a significant increase in the number of parents who want to take advantage of that service at the public school level. You're going to have demand pressures on the private sector, and you're not only going to have the operating costs arising from that, but also the facility pressures. What we saw 10 or more years ago was moving the fifth graders into relocatable classrooms so that you can have the full-day kindergarten and pre-K students in the building with restrooms in the classrooms and other amenities that you need for our littlest students. And so it's not a mandate for parents, it's not compulsory attendance, but it's a mandate for us to provide access to the services based on the income thresholds initially and for the first several years at the 300% of federal poverty as opposed to the 185 where we're currently at.
Interesting.
So that's not a standard definition of voluntary, is it?
No.
No, it sort of went to get to there, so,
Parents are required to send their students, their children. We are required to stand up facilities for them to come to, whether they come or not, correct?
Correct.
So it's still going to cost us, regardless of whether it's mandatory or not, because it's mandatory on us.
Certainly within the context of that
Right.
intended balance between the public access to public school facilities and
Right.
services and the private provider role, which not every jurisdiction has the capacity, either period or the capacity at the high level on the state's quality rating system of the private providers of early education. So that's a challenge.
And in
to-
how many of our buildings do we have pre-K? Do we
Cindy,
have that number?
how many pre-K?
All the 4 elementary schools have pre-K,
Okay.
so about 18.
Okay.